Lily Morgan stood at the kitchen window, her slender fingers wrapped around a steaming mug of coffee as she gazed out at the rain-soaked garden. The dreary weather matched her mood, a melancholy that had settled over her like a heavy cloak in recent months. At 48, Lily found herself at a crossroads, questioning the choices that had led her to this point in her life. Her marriage of 25 years had ended in a bitter divorce just 6 months ago, leaving her feeling adrift and uncertain. Her ex-husband, Richard, had moved on quickly, already flaunting his new relationship with a woman barely older than their daughter. The betrayal still stung, a constant reminder of her perceived failings as a wife and partner. Lily sighed, setting down her mug and running a hand through her chestnut hair, streaked with elegant strands of silver. She had always taken pride in her appearance, maintaining a fit figure and youthful energy that belied her years. But lately, she felt every one of those years weighing heavily upon her shoulders. A notification chimed on her phone, drawing her attention. It was a reminder of the charity gala she was organising for the local art museum, an event she had thrown herself into with fervour in the wake of her divorce. Lily had always been passionate about the arts, and now she channeled that passion into her work as the museum's director of development. As she scrolled through her emails, confirming last-minute details for the gala, Lily's thoughts drifted to the new intern who had started at the museum last week. Asher Davis, a graduate student in art history, had caught her eye with his infectious enthusiasm and quick wit. At 28, he was young enough to be her son, but there was something about him that made Lily feel alive in a way she hadn't in years. Shaking her head to dispel such inappropriate thoughts, Lily focused on the task at hand. She had a reputation to uphold and a gala to organise. There was no time for schoolgirl fantasies about a man 2 decades her junior. The next evening, Lily stood at the entrance of the museum's grand hall, greeting guests as they arrived for the gala. She cut an elegant figure in a deep burgundy gown that hugged her curves, her hair swept up in a sophisticated chignon. As she chatted with donors and local dignitaries, Lily felt a familiar spark of excitement. This was her element, where she shone brightest. "Ms. Morgan, you've outdone yourself," a voice said from behind her. Lily turned to find Asher, looking dashing in a perfectly tailored tuxedo. His dark hair was artfully tousled, and his green eyes sparkled with admiration as they met hers. "Asher," Lily said, hoping the sudden quickening of her pulse wasn't visible on her face. "Thank you. And please call me Lily. We're colleagues now, after all." He grinned, a dimple appearing in his left cheek. "Lily, then. This event is incredible. The way you've integrated the new exhibition with the fundraising elements is brilliant." They fell into an easy conversation about the exhibition, Asher's insights surprising and delighting Lily. She found herself drawn in by his passion for art and his fresh perspective on pieces she had studied for years. As the evening wore on, Lily found her eyes constantly seeking out Asher in the crowd. She watched as he charmed donors with his knowledge and enthusiasm, his youthful energy infectious. More than once she caught him looking her way, a mysterious smile playing on his lips. It was nearing midnight when Lily finally had a moment to herself. She slipped out onto the museum's balcony, relishing the cool night air on her flushed skin. The gala had been a resounding success, but the constant socialising had left her feeling drained. "Escaping your own party?" Asher's voice startled her, and she turned to find him leaning against the balcony doorframe, 2 glasses of champagne in hand. Lily laughed softly. "Just taking a moment to breathe. It's been quite a night." He joined her at the railing, offering her one of the glasses. "To a successful event," he said, raising his glass in a toast. Their eyes locked as they clinked glasses, and Lily felt a jolt of electricity run through her. She took a sip of champagne, hoping it would calm her nerves. "You know," Asher said, his voice low and intimate in the quiet night, "I've been wanting to talk to you all evening. There's something I've been meaning to ask you." Lily's heart raced. "Oh, what's that?" He turned to face her fully, his eyes intense. "I was wondering if you'd be willing to be my mentor, Your knowledge and experience in the art world are unparalleled, and I'd be honored to learn from you." Lily blinked, caught off guard. She wasn't sure if she felt relief or disappointment at his request. Of course, Asher. I'd be happy to mentor you." His face lit up with a brilliant smile. "Thank you, Lily. This means so much to me." As they stood there on the balcony, the sounds of the gala fading into the background, Lily couldn't shake the feeling that she was standing on the precipice of something life-changing. Little did she know how right she was. Over the next few weeks, Lily and Asher fell into a comfortable routine. They would meet twice a week, ostensibly to discuss art history and museum management, but their conversations often meandered into more personal territory. Lily found herself opening up to Asher in a way she hadn't with anyone in years, sharing her passion for art, her fears about aging in a youth-obsessed world, and her struggles to redefine herself after her divorce. Asher, in turn, confided in her about his own insecurities. Despite his confident exterior, he often felt out of his depth in the art world, worried that his youth and inexperience would hold him back. Lily was touched by his vulnerability and found herself increasingly drawn to his complex personality. One evening, as they were working late in Lily's office, poring over plans for an upcoming exhibition, Asher looked up from the documents spread across her desk. The soft lamplight cast a warm glow on his features, accentuating the curve of his jaw and the intensity in his eyes. "Lily," he said, his voice barely above a whisper, "I need to tell you something." She felt her breath catch in her throat. "What is it, Asher?" He stood up, moving around the desk until he was standing directly in front of her. "I can't pretend anymore. These past weeks, getting to know you, I've fallen for you, Lily. I know it's complicated. I know there are 1,000 reasons why this is a bad idea, but I can't deny how I feel." Lily's mind raced. She had been fighting her growing attraction to Asher for weeks, telling herself it was inappropriate, that she was too old for him, that it would jeopardize their professional relationship. But hearing him voice the very feelings she'd been suppressing broke down the last of her resistance. "Asher," she breathed, standing up to face him. "We can't. I'm old enough to be your mother. What would people think?" He reached out, cupping her face in his hands. "I don't care what anyone thinks. You're the most incredible woman I've ever met. Age is just a number, Lily. What matters is how we feel." And then he was kissing her, and Lily's world exploded into sensation. His lips were soft yet insistent, his body warm and solid against hers. She found herself responding with a passion she thought had long since died, her fingers tangling in his hair as she pulled him closer. When they finally broke apart, both breathless, Lily felt dizzy with desire and confusion. "We need to think this through," she said, even as her body screamed for more. "This could ruin everything." Asher nodded, his eyes never leaving hers. "I know, but I also know that I've never felt this way about anyone before. We can take it slow, figure it out together. Just, please don't push me away." Lily looked into his earnest face, seeing the depth of his feelings reflected there. Against her better judgment, she nodded. "Okay," she whispered. "We'll figure it out." That night marked the beginning of a whirlwind romance that left Lily feeling both exhilarated and terrified. They kept their relationship a secret, stealing moments alone whenever they could. Passionate encounters in her office after hours, clandestine meetings at out-of-the-way restaurants, quiet evenings at Lily's house when they were sure they wouldn't be seen. Asher worshipped Lily's body with a reverence that made her feel beautiful and desired in a way she hadn't in years. He traced the lines on her face with gentle fingers, telling her that each one was a mark of her wisdom and strength. When they made love, it was with an intensity that left them both breathless and craving more. But as weeks turned into months, the strain of keeping their relationship hidden began to take its toll. Lily was constantly on edge, worried that someone at the museum would discover their secret. She felt guilty for the deception and for the power imbalance in their professional relationship. Asher, for his part, grew increasingly frustrated with the need for secrecy. He wanted to shout his love for Lily from the rooftops, to take her out in public without fear of judgment. Their disagreements on this issue led to their first major fight. "I'm tired of hiding, Lily," Asher said one night as they lay tangled in her sheets. "I want to be able to hold your hand in public, to introduce you as my partner. Don't you want that too?" Lily sighed, pulling away from him slightly. "Of course I do, Asher, but it's not that simple. I'm your boss, I'm 20 years older than you. People will talk, it could damage both our careers." "So what?" he retorted, sitting up. "Let them talk. We're both adults, we're not doing anything wrong." "You don't understand," Lily said, frustration colouring her voice. "I've spent years building my reputation in this field. If people find out about us, they'll say I'm having a midlife crisis, that I'm taking advantage of you. Everything I've worked for could be ruined." Asher's face hardened. "So what you're saying is that your reputation is more important than our relationship?" "That's not fair," Lily protested. But Asher was already getting out of bed, pulling on his clothes. "I think I need some time to think," he said, not meeting her eyes. "I'll see you at work." As the door closed behind him, Lily felt a cold dread settle in her stomach. She had known from the start that their relationship was complicated, but she hadn't realised just how much until this moment. The next few weeks were tense. At work, Lily and Asher maintained a professional facade, but the warmth that had characterised their interactions was gone. Lily threw herself into her work, staying late at the office and taking on additional projects to distract herself from the ache in her heart. It was during this time that Lily's daughter, Emma, came home from college for a visit. At 22, Emma was a perceptive young woman, and she quickly sensed that something was off with her mother. "Mum, what's going on?" Emma asked one evening as they sat in the living room sharing a bottle of wine. "You seem, I don't know, sad. Is it about Dad?" Lily shook her head, taking a long sip of her wine. "No, sweetie. Your father and I are... well, we're okay. It's not that." Emma studied her mother's face. "There's someone else, isn't there?" Lily's eyes widened in surprise. "How did you..." "Come on, Mom," Emma said with a small smile. "I know you. You've got that look. The one you used to get when you and Dad were fighting, but you didn't want me to know. So, who is he?" Lily hesitated for a moment before deciding to confide in her daughter. She told Emma everything about Asher, about their relationship, and about their recent fight. To her surprise, Emma listened without judgment, her face thoughtful. "Mum," Emma said when Lily had finished speaking, "can I be honest with you?" Lily nodded, bracing herself. "I think you're being unfair to Asher," Emma said gently, "and to yourself. You deserve to be happy, Mum. If Asher makes you happy, then who cares what anyone else thinks? You've spent your whole life worrying about what other people think. Maybe it's time to do something for yourself." Lily felt tears prick at her eyes. "But what about you? Doesn't it bother you that he's closer to your age than mine?" Emma shrugged. "As long as he treats you well and makes you happy, that's all I care about. Life's too short to let other people's opinions dictate your happiness, Mum." As Emma's words sank in, Lily felt a weight lift from her shoulders. She realised that in her fear of judgment, she had been pushing away the best thing that had happened to her in years. The next day, Lily asked Asher to meet her in her office after hours. When he arrived, his face guarded, she took a deep breath and poured out her heart. "I'm sorry," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "I've been so scared of what other people might think that I almost ruined the most beautiful relationship I've ever had. I love you, Asher. I want to be with you, openly and honestly, if you'll still have me." Asher's face softened, and he crossed the room in 2 long strides, gathering Lily in his arms. "Of course I'll have you," he murmured into her hair. "I love you, Lily. We'll face whatever comes together." The next few months were a whirlwind of change. Lily and Asher went public with their relationship, facing the expected whispers and raised eyebrows with united strength. To Lily's surprise, many of her colleagues were supportive, and those who weren't quickly realized that her relationship had no bearing on her professional capabilities. There were challenges, of course. Lily had to recuse herself from decisions directly affecting Asher's position at the museum to avoid any conflict of interest. They had to navigate the complexities of their age difference, finding a balance between Asher's youthful energy and Lily's more settled lifestyle. But through it all, their love deepened and matured. Asher's unwavering support gave Lily the confidence to pursue her own artistic passions alongside her museum work. Lily's wisdom and experience helped Asher grow both personally and professionally. 1 year after their first kiss in Lily's office, they stood together on the balcony where they had shared their first private moment. The museum was hosting another gala, but this time Lily and Asher arrived hand in hand, their relationship a known and accepted fact. As they looked out over the city lights, Asher turned to Lily, his eyes shining with love and a hint of nervousness. "Lily," he said, reaching into his pocket, "this past year has been the happiest of my life. You've taught me so much about love, about art, about life. I want to spend the rest of my life learning with you, growing with you, loving you." He dropped to one knee, presenting a ring that sparkled in the moonlight. "Lily Morgan, will you marry me?" Lily felt tears of joy spill down her cheeks as she looked at the man who had changed her life in so many ways. "Yes," she whispered, then louder, "Yes." As Asher slipped the ring onto her finger and stood to kiss her, Lily marveled at the journey that had brought them to this moment. From a forbidden attraction to a love that defied societal norms and expectations, they had forged a partnership based on mutual respect, passion, and unwavering support. Looking into Asher's eyes, Lily knew that whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together. Their love story, unconventional as it was proof that true connection knows no boundaries of age or circumstance. As they rejoined the gala, hand in hand, Lily felt a sense of peace and excitement for the future they would build together.